In every brand identity, there are a few key elements that absolutely need to be defined in order to create clarity for your organization. So, whether you want to call this a brand script or a brand identity or a story brand, this is just the message of your business. This is who your business is at a very high level. And so that needs to include very specific elements. It is not it should be very intentional. So here are the elements that you need to define for your business. So the first thing you need to define is why you exist. This is your purpose, cause, or passion. This is your cause to champion. This is something that is outside of just making money. This is something that should be inspirational, that it should get people on board with a hierarching vision, a hierarching goal that you're trying to achieve that is outside of yourself. So why people get out of bed in the morning, why they come to work every day. And it should be beyond just getting a paycheck. It should be something that they want to make a difference, or they want to be a part of, in changing lives or in connecting people or in making a difference. That is your why you exist. The next thing that you should clarify is your one-liner. So this is just your unique selling proposition, your unique value proposition. It is one statement that is very clear about what it is that you do, the problems you solve, the services you offer, and then the benefit that creates for your customer. So it's just one statement. This is going to be used on your website. It's going to be used in your sales pitch. It's going to be used in your marketing materials. So the clarity and the ability for it to be succinct is very important in having that defined. The next thing you need to define is how you operate. So these are your core values. These are the guiding principles that identify the qualities and the behaviors you are looking for in your people, as well as the standards that you hold them accountable to. So this, in essence, is what drives your culture. When you're interviewing people, you're looking for these values and behaviors. When you are keeping people, you want to make sure that they are living these values out. If you have people in your organization who are not living these values on a regular basis, they should not be a part of your organization. So by clearly defining these standards and these expectations, that is really what drives your culture, and your ability to adhere to those standards is what makes or breaks your culture. The next thing you want to define is your uniques. So this is the unique combination of factors that set your business apart. This is what makes your business different from a competitor's business. And it is not what you do, but it is some other factor of something unique about it. And on its own, maybe one of them isn't necessarily unique, but it's the factor of the 3 or 4 of those things together that you want to make sure that you always align with. So when you go outside of these uniques, when you veer off in a different direction, this is what dilutes your brand authenticity. This is what dilutes the very thing that sets you apart. So it's very important to identify it and stay aligned with it. This creates the boundaries and the framework for what you make decisions through. It's consider them your pillars. So when you're making strategic decisions about how to move forward, or whether you want to include a new service or branch off into a new product, if it doesn't align with these uniques, then it's going to dilute your brand authenticity. It's going to detract you from your focus, and that is why we need to define these things. The next element that you want to define, which most businesses do, is just what you offer. It's the products or the services that you provide, and just being very clear and upfront about that. Very straightforward. Being able to also identify your credibility and authority. So what is it about your business that gives you credibility and authority within this industry, and to be able to provide these services to be somebody that your customer can trust. So we're looking for statistics, we're looking for experience, we're looking for referrals and reviews and word of mouth. We're looking for pictures that showcase your work or your portfolio to show that you have done this before, you have solved these problems, and the people you have helped have had a great experience because of that, and they're willing to recommend and talk about how great that was. That is really all we need to convey, is that there is a reason that we should trust you. The next thing you want to clarify is, who is your ideal customer? So this is really important because you can't help everybody. And especially if you have your set of core values and your set of uniques, that is not going to align with everybody. Just because everybody has a problem doesn't mean that your business is the right business to fix that problem, because there are other businesses within your marketplace that might be a better fit. So when we qualify our customers, who we know, these are the types of people we want to do business with, that helps us better attract those people so that those are more of who we're doing business with. It helps us say no to the wrong customers who end up sucking our time, sucking our energy, creating a bad experience, not being fun to work with. So we want to be clear about the types of people we want to work with, because when we're clear about the types of people we work with, then we can make sure that the experience that we're offering them is what they're looking for. And when they have a great experience, that is what ends up building your reputation and growing your business. You want to understand clearly what it is that they want. You want to know who it is that you're wanting to work with, but then what is the problem that they're looking to solve, and then what are the problems and frustrations that they have because of that. So there's the straightforward external problem of, I need my yard landscaped. And then there's internal problems, and there's philosophical problems because they don't have time to take care of their yard. They want it to look good because they want to be contributing members of society. They want to help make their neighborhood look very welcoming and a great place to make being outside a fun and enjoyable experience, but they don't have the time, energy, or desire to actually be out there landscaping and making it nice and doing it themselves. And then philosophically is, hey, if I, own a house, then it should look great so that it, creates a great experience of being outside. So being able to identify that helps you better speak to them in a more real and relevant way. It creates a connection that goes deeper than just a transactional relationship. So a transactional relationship is like, hey, I have this, you need this, we're just going to exchange goods from here's the service, here's the money, done. When we can understand where they're at, we can have empathy for that. We can understand what they're going through and communicate on that level to say, hey, look, I know that there's more to this than just what's at the surface. That creates connection, that builds trust, that builds loyalty. And those are the types of relationships that you really want more of in your business. The next thing that you want to clarify is your proven process. So your proven process is how you ensure that your ideal customer is going to have a great experience. This is how you make sure that what you're saying and what you're promising them, you're actually able to follow through on and give an experience. And this is what will make or break your credibility, because you cannot say something and then not follow through. So you want to make sure that if you've clarified it and you've defined it, then you can make sure that the processes are in place, because if your processes aren't in place, you cannot ensure that experience. You want to define what your call to action is. So what is that first step that they need to take in order to start that relationship with your business? A lot of times this is going to be communicated on a website, or even maybe in that first connection, that first touch point. Like if they picked up the phone and just called you, what is that first step they need to take that starts to engage your services? Is it scheduling an estimate or a consultation? Is it buying something? Is it being able to sign up for a class? I mean, you have to understand what your customer journey looks like from beginning all the way to the end. And then you have to build out your processes and your messaging accordingly. The next thing you want to define is, what will a negative result look like for that customer if they don't work with you? So if they go with somebody else, if they have a negative experience, what is it that you want to help them avoid? You have to be able to communicate them. You don't have to, scream it from the rooftop or anything, but just be able to understand, like, hey, look, like if you don't go with me, this is what you might experience, and I know that's not what you're looking for. And then in addition to that, you want to be able to promise them a great experience. Here's what a great experience looks like. So if you're able to really communicate those things, then that is what helps you build out those processes to ensure that customer experience. So then what you say and what you do align, that's what builds connection, that's what builds trust, that's what builds loyalty, and that is what grows businesses.